Hey everyone, happy Thursday.
Morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, good evening, wherever you are, you're here. Cool. Let's see. Let's get the volume working. Screen's working. Let's see what else we got. We'll have Thor joining us today shortly. And let me get a screen up for you. All right, there we go. All right, what do we got? Raf, welcome back. Hope you're feeling better. Looking at NVIDIA off of yesterday's levels. What do you mean? You already traded the NVIDIA overnight? Or yesterday? What happened with NVIDIA? I have it here. Yesterday, yeah. Oh, okay. What'd you do? You get into the earnings play overnight? Oh, man. Cool. We got that working. Yep, everything's working. All right. Cool. So let's get levels on there. There we go. Check on the news. What's going on today? 8:30. That's over. 8:30. That's over. 10 a.m. What is this? Oh man, again. Pending home sales for April. I feel like we have home sales every day these days. What the hell? So 10 a.m. today. Pending home sales month over month for April. Pending home sales year over year for April. And then 10:40 Fed Goolsby. What is that? Anyone heard of this? Fed Goolsby speech. So this is very interesting. And then we got noon crude oil and gasoline. Okay, that stuff never impacts anything, at least what I do. So I can ignore that. And then there's 4 p.m. stuff. No, it's 2 p.m. Wow, we got lots of stuff going on. All right, so key points here. We got information coming out at 10. So I don't want to be starting a position close to 10. I usually don't start a position in the first 3 or 4 minutes anyway. If I do get an opportunity in the first 10 minutes, I can take it. But beyond that, it's going to be hard because I don't want to get too close to 10 o'clock. So that's the plan for the open as far as the news is concerned. All right, let's see. What do we have on the chart? We have, whoa, it pushed up tremendously overnight. Oh, I like this. This is very interesting. You have this consolidation area. Went down, broke out, bouncing off the breakout. Consolidation and breakout. So the long off of this 590 level, what is it, 592 area? Right at the open, that would be fun. If it goes fast, I won't chase it. As in, first 3 or 4 minutes are always tricky, and I cannot put a decent size on it, so no point trading it. If it happens after the first, let's say 4 or 5 minutes or so, and the price action has stabilized, I think there's an opportunity there for that long. What is it done on the 1 minute? Yeah, you can see it's come back. Well, let's see, where'd it go? Yeah. It's come back. It's been bouncing off of the area so far. Not all convincing, but at least it's holding support so far for the last hour. That's interesting. I haven't had this kind of setup in a little while. Let's see, that's just the open. And there's only a short window where I will allow myself to get into this kind of trade. So after the first 3 or 4 minutes, and make sure I'm de-risked as we approach 10 o'clock. But I won't put on the trade, let's say, 15 minutes before 10 o'clock or something like that, close to 10, because of the news coming out. All right.
Hey, Avi, what about that 1 minute price action you don't like in terms of the bounce, I guess?
Yeah, it keeps bumping itself on that level, right? So that's something that I'm watchful of. But what I'm really watching here is the 30-minute chart. You can see that, again, very good reversal price action, and it did do a reversal. The bounce is interesting. What I'm interested here in smaller detail is the higher lows. But there's a few different things to think about. What earnings do we have? We had Nvidia yesterday, right? Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. That's probably what moved the majority of this market up. Yeah, I mean it's not ideal. Again, like I said, in the first couple of minutes, you will know very quickly if it's holding there or it's going through there. Now the open is very interesting because within 30 seconds, a lot of times, whatever you think about on the 1 minute chart, that gets negated in the first couple of minutes because so much activity happens there. It's almost like you're almost looking at 10-second candlesticks, and you give them more weight than you do all these 1 minute candlesticks an hour before the open. At least that's the way I see it. Now, it's a bit skewed. So I'm using my imagination when I'm actually watching the charts. But that's how I trade the open. So it's going to be tricky again. If I do get into it, it's going to be a very difficult one, I think. Risk is going to be tricky, as in I cannot put a massive amount of risk. Let's see what the action really says. It is tough. I don't think it's ideal. Oh, here's another point. Oh, now I'm seeing it on a 30-minute. Forget everything else. Consolidation and breakout. It already hit the next level. So the trade's over. Oh, yes. Now I see it. Okay. Yeah, that's a 30-minute thing. So that has nothing to do with 1 minute stuff. But anyways, just simply, you have the consolidation, the breakout, it hit the target. So forget about the retest. It's already done. Now there's nothing there. Okay, so I changed my mind on this. Good thing I watched it a little. It even did a reversal. Look at that. It may still bounce and go. I don't know. But to go in at the open expecting a retest of that previous breakout, it's not on the cards. All right, so the plan has changed. So it looks like any other setup. I don't see anything else here. There's nothing here. Just gotta let one 30-minute candle pass, and then see the new schedule again and see if there's something. So again, one of those slow days. Sit and wait the open. At least 30 minutes. Then we'll see. So there we go. Oh, good thing I saw that. That would have been breaking my rules if I did it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Avi, if you
Yeah, go
have
ahead.
a minute, and if you hadn't looked at it, Tesla and Nvidia, please.
Yeah, sure. And Angel, you got something you want to ask as well?
Yeah, good morning, Avi and everyone.
Yep.
I was trying to understand what you said, that the retest is over. Up until what point do you wait to have a valid retest? Like how far the price should go between the target and the breakout point?
Yeah, real quick, it's very simple. They never did a retest. It just broke out and hit the target. There is no opportunity for a retest. To me, the move is over. This may become a retest and go double the distance. I don't know, but my trade book says level to level. It goes from one level to the next. The trade is over. The setup's over. The move is over. Now wait for another setup. So that's that one. So once it hits the target, that's it. If it went maybe a little bit, like halfway, and then it starts to bounce off, I'll say, oh, it's still retesting, and then it goes for the target. But that's not happening. I don't allow myself to see it.
So the new
Sorry.
setup will be the breakout of that high, where the reversal point, right?
Don't even talk about that, because now what you're doing is you're projecting into the future. You're imagining setups that haven't happened. There is no setup at the moment. Let the open happen. Let a 30-minute candle close, maybe 2 or 3 30-minute candles. Then we have a setup. Right now, there's nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah.
So for instance, if it popped up to say right now for up to 594 and then came back down to your 591 level and started going up, would that be?
No, there's nothing there. It's just chopping around. It's just chopping around. There's nothing there.
Oh, I see.
There's nothing at all. All right, guys, we were looking at Tesla and Nvidia real quick. So Tesla's been bullish, big old consolidation. Very interesting. Look at the breakout of that level, but there's no real consolidation, a tight one, up here on Tesla for it to run. On the downside also, I don't see anything. I see just getting into a choppy zone. If Tesla breaks that pre-market high, what do we have? 368 or so, 368.20. Whoops. Oh, these charts, man. That's it. I'm gonna switch to a new platform. This sucks. There we go. So breaks above pre-market high, you might get a volatility play, maybe an ORB going up, something like that. But for the trades I like, I don't see any setup on Tesla for now. I'll let a couple of 30-minute candles pass by, and maybe something shows itself. We have, what was it? Nvidia, right? Nvidia, lots of earnings, big gap up, consolidation, breakout possible to the upside. But again, Nvidia, because you know there's a major catalyst, big earnings and all that, what you want to do is look for opening momentum plays. So you have ORBs, fallen angels, rising devils, all that good stuff. And once that's over, maybe you find yourself in a trend, maybe. But we know it's in catalyst. So anything with a catalyst, expect massive volume, massive volatility. So if you're good with volatility trading, that's where that is. That's what I would think. Other than that, I don't see a setup, at least on my style. It's just, I mean, an ABCD pattern going up, but you want a good consolidation before really breaking out again. But that's just my style. I'm very conservative, as in waiting for 30-minute candles. Yeah, Gurinder, go ahead. Gurinder, you had a question, and then Kevin.
Yeah. So, what does the 8 o'clock candle means to you on SPY today, if any?
On the SPY today, you know what? It never meant anything to me ever, and why should it mean anything to me today? You know, it's just an 8 a.m. candle. The market makers do business at that time, settle orders overnight. Thor is going to be on. He'll talk to you about that for hours if you ask him. But to me, it's just an 8 a.m. candle, and back testing shows me I can put risk against it, so I do. That's it. I'm not doing any Mark Twain philosophy on this, man. I don't even know about it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Kevin, go ahead.
Yeah, can you take a look at Google? It's got the RVOL is off the chart.
Okay. What happened with Google? Is there news? RVOL for a good reason?
I think it's following NVIDIA.
Ah, right on. Well, what do we have? You have yesterday's high is a tricky zone. You have a high further up, a lower high, and a higher high. Okay, so it's, you know, it's consolidating down here, which is a decent sign for a breakdown. But you're going to go into all this chop, you know, even though, yeah, I don't see an ideal consolidation. It's really tricky. Again, pre-market high. Hey there. Thor, there you are, man. Waiting for you. Google, yeah, I think it's a messy thing. I don't really see a whole lot. Again, on 30-minute perspective, the RVOL is there. If there's massive RVOL, maybe you're looking at opening volatility plays. I don't know why there's RVOL. It might be a catalyst. Might be news.
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
Yeah,
but it has been kind of thrusting up right off the open every morning.
Well, yeah, if you like that bounce off of this pre-market low zone, but I wouldn't touch that. In this choppy zone, I don't touch it. I don't know. I don't see a setup. I don't see anything that makes any sense to my eyes. So you just want to, you know, let it be. Or unless you have, again, 1 minute setups, you're looking at ORBs, that's a whole different story.
Yeah, it's also on the R4 on my chart. So
alrighty. Yeah, there you go.
Could be a breakdown, like as you said, but I'm not sure.
Could be. I don't trust it. At least on 30-minute perspectives, I don't trust it. Yeah. Going on, Thor, you getting into anything so far?
So I took a little bit of a long on NQ right off of my S4, which is, and we broke trend on this massive downtrend we've been happening. We happened to hit the 50% retracement off of yesterday's gap when the NVIDIA news came in and the market gapped. So if you look at that big candle, like I mean, if you look from like the low of like 522.25, and then we stop around 527, if you come 50% of the way back, it's 525. So, I mean, we literally went right back to the halfway point offered value and found a buyer there. So I tried it. If it comes back through, I'm actually in a little bit right at it. So if it comes back through S4, I'll probably cut it leading into the open. Because, you know, I kind of have this rule set, which is if it goes, it goes. You know, I mean, once you're into the position, it really should just keep making new highs and keep pushing. If you get a decent, like 4 or 5 candle move in your direction and then it starts offering back too aggressively, you know, I mean, it's just probably just not the right time, even if I'm right. And, you know, especially if you're doing like what Avi does, where you're worried about carrying contracts that, you know, are going to devalue the longer you hold them. You know, these are kind of those moments where maybe, you know, go ahead and cut it, you know, make a little money and then let it bounce around for a second when it looks a little bit better, get back in. You know, I really liked Avi. I was looking at your trade you took, I think it was yesterday or the day before. I really liked the way you got in and then you cut it, like, because you could tell it just wasn't working, and then it broke back up. You got in and then started adding and then adding as it was going, and I really enjoyed the way you added into the strength of the move, rather than I see so many people that are just adding at the dips. You know what I mean? And as it's going down, they're just basically, just doubling in or, adding in as they're going down to get a better average. But you got a little bit, but I could tell the majority of your bulk you're adding on the way as you're increasing. Okay, I like this more. New high, better. Okay, I'm adding. All right, I'm out. Nope, I like it now. And then boom, boom. And then that move hits, you're holding like a boss. I mean, getting really big move and then only cutting when you're seeing weakness. There's a lot more to Avi's technique and what he's doing with here than just sizing like crazy. I mean, he's sizing, sure, but his holds show you the technique behind it. This isn't just him getting a lot of contracts in and then just hitting it as soon as it pops in his direction. Quite the opposite. When it pops in his direction, he's putting in more. So it's really cool stuff, man. I really enjoyed that trade. I was looking at like, oh man, this trade makes sense to me. I like this whole thing. This is great. So many trades I see with, especially with internet traders lately, it just doesn't make sense. I'm like, I have no idea what your risk even was. Like, and I'm not saying your risk has to be like calculated like mine is per se, but just seeing the process and the way you're, it makes a lot of sense to me. So I was like, it's good stuff, man. So
yeah, cool. Thanks, man. Thanks. And that's it, guys. When your thesis is playing out, the more confirmation that your thesis is working, the more you can add into it, and rather hold on longer. And that's where the big money is made, is on the move, not on the size. So that's what I've always believed. You make money on the move, not so much the size.
Could Thor share his screen, please?
I certainly can.
Yeah. Cool. So guys, about a minute and a half to the open. As always, wait for your setups. I'm setting out the first 30-minute candle just because I don't see anything setting up for me.
Yeah, I have no alerts yet this morning as far as like anything that's playable for me. So I'm kind of on my hands as well. Other than that long I took off of S4 and NQ, I'm just kind of hanging on to that guy to see if we get ourselves a nice little squeeze here at the open with all that selling that happened.
Nice. I think what we'll do is watch NVIDIA at the open, just because that is heavily in play.
I was hanging out on the NYSE and he goes, what do you like to trade? And I'm like, oh, I really like trading like SPY and Qs via futures. He's like, oh, so you like trading NVIDIA.
Yeah, basically. Gotta love it.
But I mean, look, NVIDIA had the earnings news. Man, what a report too. Like 75% increase on server farm sales, basically.
Really?
I mean, profit projections looking quite nice. So the market, oh boy, boom. And that's with all of the tariffy weirdness that's been going on with all of the ups and downs and the threats and the retractions and then the more threats and then the more retractions. So it's pretty cool to see it. But we're buying a little bit into the open, and our market structure has shifted a little bit more bullish than it was maybe 30 minutes ago, for sure. So we're definitely bringing in orders to the top side now. So it'd be interesting to see. May get a hard dip at the open, maybe give us a Brian Pesum style, what is it, falling angel? I think you just wick down, hit a low. So ding, ding, people. Be safe, have fun, risk on. Make sure your risk management on, paying attention.
Yeah. Wait, where were the cues? Oh, I see it right there. Yeah. So yeah, potential bounce on the SPYs and the Qs from basically pre-market low. Not my setup, but I see support down there. Cool. NVIDIA, big old fallen angel. Wait for that ORB. Oh boy. If that happens, it'll be explosive. All right.
There's still no alerts for me, so I got my alerts running right here. So for anyone who's watching my screen, I've got alerts running right here. So if something comes in and really fits the system, you'll see tickers start popping in here.
Nice. Once again, I'm very distracted by the sunset, so I'm just kind of just alerted over there. Better than candlesticks at the moment. Yeah, NVIDIA, watch that break of the high of the first minute candle. If that happens, that's a solid ORB, 1 minute ORB. Again, you have pre-market high to watch. I think if it does break, boy, It'll be fast and aggressive.
Oof. I cut when we came back down to my break even on that when the sell was just too aggressive at the open on the NQ there. So I'm gonna let it bounce around for a little bit. This thing could go into a counter trending breakdown today too. So I mean, we're on a narrow range. We could actually have a really hard sell day today.
That would be interesting. That'd be very interesting if we do get a short. Oh boy, I'd like to catch a short. Actually, it's been a while. See, there you go. On the SPY, my trade book would tell me go long if it bounces here, but the move's already done on my trade book, so not taking a long or a short. There's no thesis.
Yep, I got nothing too. So
No. Okay.
one thing we have to remember, everybody, is when you're trading is not supposed to be hard work. It's if you feel like you're taking lots of trades, getting in and out of lots of trades, if you're sweating right now, you know what I mean, then you're just kind of overdoing it.
Yeah.
I've noticed, like, Avi, a lot of people, I think, because we have so many self-made people who have like worked so hard all their lives. It's like, and then you get into this industry, and this industry is such a polar opposite. Like, it's almost like the less you work, the more you make. You know what I mean? It's like, it's like as soon as you're, taking 3 trades, 4 trades, 5 trades a day, and you're anchored to that desk, you're probably losing money.
Sorry, real quick, NVIDIA guys, watch the breakout. There it goes. That's the ORB going up, the fallen angel in play. Bang, bang, get that. Ooh, told you that break of that opening high. Somebody catch it. Somebody caught it, I'm sure. But yeah, Thor, that's absolutely right. And actually, Piyush in here, one of my mentees, was talking about it when we were having a session last week as well. Like, yeah, you're used to working hard, therefore you get the result, or you think you deserve the results. You come in here and you basically come with the same attitude and end up hurting yourself. That's it's a very tough point, but an important one. Yeah. Who caught that in video? I was telling you guys, Fallen Angel, and the first minute gave us an exact location to get long for the breakout. But again, you're talking ORBs, you're talking scalping, you're talking 2R if you're good at it. So there you go. Anyways, no trade for me, but there you go.
Yeah. What did we say though? I mean, that's exactly it. Open up, really hard sell, bought up, break. I mean, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's see how they sustain this push. I mean, it's very, very, very nice so far.
Wait for a good pullback to add again on NVIDIA, and the pullback I would think is 142.85 approximately, that pre-market zone. If it pulls back,
yeah,
it doesn't look like it wants to. It just wants to go.
NQ responded as well.
Yep, and the SPY so far. There we go. Hey, Mike's in here. Welcome. Good to see you. Still in France? Gosh, I don't know where you are anymore.
I know. World traveler. What's up?
Totally lost track of everything. Very nice. Yeah.
Oh, he's in Nice. Or Nice. Nice. It's a nice place in France.
France, south. Is that right? South of France, Nice.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very nice there.
French Riviera. Oh yes, that's one place I want to rent a Ferrari and just drive for 2 weeks.
Can you let me know what 2 weeks you would like me to show up, Avi, in the French Riviera? We could rent some bikes and just go ride the countryside get some hogs and ride the countryside.
I'll be now riding a Ferrari out there in front of you and wait.
Oh yes.
I'm gonna run a Ducati. We'll get out there and go.
Oh, there you go.
No, I'm on the Harley Fat Bob, fully modified, super loud exhaust. It's just got to be loud. That's what I want. I don't care if it goes fast.
Those Harley Fat Boys are so good. I love those things, and they're stable too. When you're on them, you don't feel like you're about to die the whole time you're driving.
Yes. The thing.
Here comes that reoffer on NVIDIA. Let's see what happens. We're pulling back to that area Avi had called the 142.80-ish area.
Yeah. Let's see.
See if you guys get anything.
This is very interesting. For those of you who caught the momentum breakout, even if you couldn't identify the momentum dying, it you a candle there, reverse hammer, telling you the momentum's dead. So that's where you take your partials if you want to identify things that way. And here, yeah, where it is right now, bounce, especially if you got a moving average or something there, if you believe in such things.
They went right back to the trend and rejected it. Not this NQ. NQ kind of started to rally a little bit and then immediately sold off of the trend that it had been carrying the entire morning. So let me show you guys that. Look at this.
There you go, NVIDIA, break another high. Let's see.
But look at this. This is our downward. This was our downward trend from the morning as we were carrying down. So we literally just came right back. We basically sold right under into trend and came back, hit it once. But if we can come and close and make a new high here on NQ, that would really help NVIDIA launch. So, but right now it looks like they're starting to offer a little lower on NQ. So we'll see what happens.
NQ 1 minute looks like a reverse ABCD to me on the off a level too, off a level that I like. Let's see what happens.
We also have a big monthly level. We're at monthly R4 on NQ, which is basically our monthly inflection point between breakout and range. So we're literally sitting right on the edge of a mountain right now. If we fall either direction, it could just be massive, and it's a narrow range. So we could still sell easily to yesterday's close, which is down. I mean, that's quite a bit lower.
Yeah, there's the new low on the Qs. So there's that reverse ABCD working. And NVIDIA now going back to test, looks like that opening breakout area, 142.50-ish.
Avi, what do you think of this? Why breaking down?
Again, it looks like a good reverse ABCD pattern on a 1 minute chart. But I'd be very careful. You got that low of day area where it bought up 2 candles in a row quite firmly. So I would probably scale in quietly, and during the consolidation, that would have been a few minutes ago, and then add at the low of day breakout, tighten the stop. But again, it's on a 30-minute chart, there's nothing there, so I don't like it, but that's just a 1 minute picture. Again, it's not perfectly clean in the zone of that level, right? Whereas the Qs are a lot cleaner. If you look at my screen, you can see them side by side. The Qs are a much simpler ABCD compared to the SPY. So you have ABCDs, but then you have high quality ABCDs as well, right? We were talking about this stuff yesterday. So again, another example today.
So one thing that's interesting is Apple has already run out its ATR low. So Apple should not really have sold much more than like to 201 or 202 today, and it already ran that. So the market is in an interesting spot where it looks like we could look for a response here, but so far the selling seems to be predominant. CVD is red overall on the NQ and ES, so we have an imbalance of selling to buying right now. So let us see.
Selling. You need aggressive sellers hit the market.
Oh, here we go. Got some plays coming through finally.
Watch NVIDIA, guys. Again, NVIDIA's testing that breakout zone of that first 1 minute candle, the high of that. See, the breakout happened in the 4th minute. It's a potential retest of that breakout. No way would I ever be thinking about short down here, if anything, along, if I was into this kind of scalping style. Just keep an eye on that for all you ORB traders. Yes, Samanjit, go ahead. You got a question? You got a microphone? No. Gotta get more lighting in this room. Yeah, Gurinder, go ahead.
Why am I only getting one freaking thing?
So Thor, so you were trying to go long on M&Q at S4. Is that what were you doing in the pre-market?
Yeah, but I cut it.
Yeah, but would you take a short on it if it's break down below S4?
Yes, absolutely, because it's a higher range. I mean, anytime it loses S4, if it gets under S4, we have the potential for a counter trending breakdown, right? So that's definitely a thing.
Okay.
So yeah.
Thank you.
So now the issue we have is that we have run the majority of our ATR to the downside on almost every ticker, right? So it's gonna create a lot of support down here because you're gonna have a lot of people who shorted already, who are gonna be looking pretty sweet on that idea, right?
So when you count your ATR, are you counting the gap up open or no? Just in a pre-market, whatever the move's happening.
So when the ATR is a 14-day look back.
Yeah.
And then we are using session high to session low. So what I mean by that is we are going to we're going to take like if it's so session high is pre-market high and pre-market low until we open. Once we open, it's pre-market high and pre-market low unless the price goes through those, right? Then those become the new session highs and session lows. And then we're going to take whatever that average was on our 14-day look back and project that in both directions. So like right now, the low, right, is currently here, right? So what we're projecting, right? Pre-market low was here, right? So our ATR was originally more higher, right? But now we've moved down and we've made a lower low. So now our ATR projection is dipping with that. So in our downside projection is way down here. That doesn't, hold on, let me check that. That doesn't look like it's working right now. No, it's basic. That's right. Basic 14.5. Yeah. It should be good.
Guys, NVIDIA real quick. Keep an eye. I did that retest of the original breakout and watch that high of day. This is an opportunity for another breakout. Go ahead, Thor. Just wanted to call that.
No, that's perfect. Agreed.
Yeah.
Avi, I have a question on NVIDIA.
Yeah, go ahead.
So with NVIDIA, I waited for the 5-minute candle to form on the 5-minute, and then I kind of like look on the 1 minute to see if there'll be a pullback. I did see a pullback, but the question is, where would you have entered on the pullback? Like, would you have entered?
Yeah. Yeah, if I was trading this ORB stuff, I would be looking at, if you look at my chart, I'm going to put a line right here. The top of that first 1 minute candle, which is also the top of the second minute candle, that's where the original breakout happened. Now, going into this area and bouncing off, when I'm convinced of the bounce off of this area, that's basically the retest of the original breakout. That would be an entry. I try to enter as close as I can to this area. So let's see, this first red candle put in a wick. The second one put in a wick, but still, closed red is very choppy. But what's interesting is that the white one here, now before it closes, you don't know it's a white candle, but it put in a wick that's basically in the same place as the previous two. So you know that there's buyers down here, 142.25 or so. So now this is the third time in a row I'm sitting here and watching this. So I'm watching it go basically through the green line. I'd probably I'd enter on this white candle. Or even if I entered on the candle before on the red one, I would enter just above the green line with a stop right below those wicks. And I'd be in this and getting close to high of day. That's when I de-risk. By de-risk, I mean either move it to break even or partial out or do both. Ideally, you're looking for the breakout of that initial break. The second move should go higher than the first. So I would have de-risked this probably a minute and a half ago. And yeah, but that would have been the entry, at least on my style. Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I feel like my camera is way far away from me. It's so zoomed out. I don't know why. I feel so distant today. Something's wrong here.
So distant.
I was like, where's the webcam?
Should have pinned it, people. I told you.
I gotta fix this thing. It is actually like a few feet away from me, and the screens are even further out. I gotta fix this whole thing.
Do a little fake trade on that just for the fun of it.
Anyone catch that? Q's on the way down, that nice reverse ABCD. It looked a lot cleaner than the SPY. Someone was asking earlier. There's a difference. If you look at my screen, you can see the big difference between the SPY and the Q's. Look at it at, let's say, 5 minutes in, even 6, 7 minutes in. You can just see the shape of the reverse ABCD, specifically at the levels that we have here. And this is, take a screenshot of this if you like and put it, so side by side, you know what a good looking pattern looks like and what a pattern Looks like it'll look good if you're desperate to make money and you'll take it. So this is stuff to really be careful of. The SPY is not to touch, and the Qs are pretty all right. Pattern-wise, setup-wise. Either way, they could work or not work. That's a different story. But setups are important. Knowing your setup and having them really well defined, so you know when not to trade. And that's very important. So NVIDIA did the original ORB, did the retest, went back to close to its high, but it actually put in a lower high. That's interesting. Saying sellers are taking over. Sure enough, they are. And now it's back to the bottom, which is interesting. Let's see if it breaks the bottom. That'll be big, but let's see. Again, you might have an ORB going down if all that happens. Unusual if that happens, but let's see. Generally, I believe NVIDIA is stronger than weaker for the day. But you never know. Never assume anything in the markets. You know, this webcam is just bugging me. I'm going to fix it. I don't know why. It's just bugging me. Give me a minute, guys. There we go.
Yeah, I'm goofing around on. I was goofing around for those who are looking at me. I was goofing around on AMD looking at it, but this is a paper trade that I'm doing here. I'm not trading any equities on my live accounts for the rest of the month. I actually probably won't be trading any equities at all anymore, to be honest. I just like my futures, and they do so well for me. There's just really no point for me to spend the time going through all of that. So but I do like playing around and goofing that. So for anyone who saw me, I was goofing around on here. I was just kind of playing with the because I will start doing some equities trades using TV once I get a little bit more comfortable with the entry exit method. So, but just so y'all know, I don't like you to think I'm trying to be silly.
Right,
I do like micro gold up here. I think if the market goes into a rally, I think I might play some gold today because it's pretty high right now. If the market goes into a rally, gold should sell.
Nice.
And I got an alert on it. I've got an R6 reversal narrow range, so that would be a unicorn if it works. So we'd be talking about a very large move today on gold all the way back. I mean, this thing ATR low is at 32.65. So you'd be talking about, almost a 100-point move on gold today if that happens. That would be, if I size up correctly, I could make it almost an entire month on that move if I'm sized up correctly. So I'm gonna keep an eye on it and see if it offers something.
Am I sized up correctly now on the webcam? Does it work? Is this better? Whoa, now it's right in front of my face.
I remember one time
We can see your nose hairs now.
There was a person who quit Bear Bull Traders, and they sent an email to Andrew, and they only had like 3 complaints. One was like they didn't like the material. Number 2 was like they couldn't get their questions answered, and number 3 was I sat too close to my webcam. I was like, that was really a reason. I'm so atrocious looking. Yeah, exactly. So then, of course, for the next like 3 or 4 days, I was like this every single day on my webcam just to be a jerk. I was like, how's everybody doing? Hey, it's a great day today on the webcam. But like, it's like, I was like, really, like out of all the complaints we're going to have, right? My face was one of them. Thanks, people. I appreciate it. Nothing, no problem here. Nothing to see here, people.
Oh,
gosh.
I would
so rude.
That's
they told me
man.
that they wouldn't tell you about that when I sent that in.
I know, Nathan. I knew it was you. I knew you. Then they made him a mod. I was like, what the hell?
That was you.
Dan adds in number 4. I talk too much. Cheers, my friend.
Well, that's what the microphone's for.
Yep. I got words and I like to use them. So it is getting me to shut up. That's the problem. That's a fact.
Oh man. I love it. There you go, guys. So NVIDIA did do that little break of the low of the day. And again, interestingly enough, it's retesting approximately the low of that first 1-minute candle. Those first 3-minute candles really are right there. And it's retesting right there, 141.60. That's the zone. if the sellers are going to take over, that's where you would expect them to take over. But again, that's a big if. It's so hard to watch this action and think that it's going to be bearish. But let's see. Here we go. Let's see if it punches right in through 142. There you go. Made a new high right there. So, that bearish thesis is very hard to believe. There you go. And you know what would have possibly kept me out of this sort of false breakdown, getting trapped in it, is that even on a 1 minute chart, there wasn't really a consolidation before it went and broke the low of day. You wanted to consolidate above 140, 160, 2 or 3 candles, just tiny little ones. And then you think, all right, a possible good breakout. That in itself would have told you not to take it. Again, you want very good setups. You don't want to just chase it. It's going down, so you go down. You don't want to do that. Thor, you trade futures with a prop firm, right? We got Saminda here asking about your experience with
I
it.
trade futures with 3 prop firms and one brokerage. So I use my personal brokerage as well, which is through Interactive Brokers, IBKR, my favorite broker, the one I would highly recommend at all times if you're going to use a real broker. Commissions tiering for futures is spectacular. So I love them a lot. But I trade with Apex, Top Step, and Take Profit. I have funded accounts because if any one of those funded props gets sued or shuts their shop down or something, I don't want to have to be into evaluating a whole nother one. And I use a trade replicator. So basically every time I take a trade, it hits all 4 of my accounts at the same time. So for instance, like yesterday, leading into the close after the news came, or after hours yesterday, I bought NQ when NVIDIA's news came out. And I made about $1,500 on that move, and it was mirrored across 4 accounts. So I made $6,000. So it was a really nice day. And that's so generically, I ended up having, I think I took 1 short yesterday that I cut at break even because we were bullish, and then we started to sell towards the news, and I just hung out. And then afterwards, when the NVIDIA came through, I killed it and had a really nice trade. So, but yeah, I really liked the props. I think, or sorry, we'll call them fundeds, right? Because I don't technically trade with a prop firm. I guess I trade with a funded firm. It's not like I trade with SMB or like Peak Capital or Top Step Live, right? Those are all actual proprietary trading firms. I use 3 funded brokers and then a real broker, IBKR.
Nice.
Because I can.
I had the idea I have multiple IB accounts, and I was thinking I could do what you're doing with trade mirroring multiple accounts as I hit the execution button on DOS and have it execute. I didn't really find an advantage to doing that. I was thinking maybe that'll help with liquidity, getting into positions, but realistically, I'm hitting the same candlestick really.
Yeah.
On no matter what account. So I dropped that idea. That's interesting. You're doing that with 2 different prop firms.
And what I'm doing is I'm using my funded accounts. So when I do payouts from my funded, I take that money and stick it into my IBKR. So I'm trying, because I come from humble beginnings in the trailer park I grew up in. It's my even today with all the awesomeness and paying my bills and stuff, I still I probably have a little bit right around 6 figures in my personal. You know what I mean? So, and I'd like to get that bumped a bit so I can size a little bit better and feel more comfortable. So that's what I'm working on now.
Nice.
So, but yeah, anytime I make that money, I take a little bit for myself and the rest goes into the IBKR to help me boast that. Because I really think the goal for everybody in the long run should never be to actually be on a funded account. I mean, you became a day trader likely because you wanted to free yourself of the shackles and the binds of having an overlord in your life telling you what you can or cannot do every day, right? So, and unfortunately, those funded accounts are the same thing. You got to stay active. You got to trade every day to every couple of days. If you let it sit there for a week and go on vacation, they'll shut your account off on you. And you're like, dude, I was on vacation. So even when you're on vacation, you got to take a laptop, make sure you get in and throw in a trade just to make sure you keep things active. It's just silly to have to follow all of these rules and jump through hoops to get to money. But if you don't have money, you do what you got to do, right? But the idea for me would be to build your personal bank so you can get what I like to call funding security, right? I think those prop firms and all of those, it's funding insecurity. Like you never really know how long you're going to have that funding for. You could make a rule violation and lose it, or they could go out of business. You know what I mean? Who knows? They could get sued and just shut down shop. It's happened to a dozen funded brokers. So, but yeah, I'll cut too much before I hit Dan's number 4. Too much.
Yeah, Piyush, go ahead. You got something?
Hey, Thor, can you repeat those 3 names again, please?
Apex, Top Step, Take Profit.
Take Profit, huh? Okay.
SPY is interesting, guys. Retesting that level, I didn't really believe it would be a decent retest, but it's happening. 592-ish, where I've got the level on the chart, did a breakdown from there, came back to it and rejected it. But again, pattern-wise on the 1 minute, it has not looked good to my eyes. I wouldn't even suggest it. But the short is happening. Well, it's happening across the board, really. Hard to have predicted that one. Yeah, there you go, Scott. Yes, it's an Avi level. Obviously, I should predict it. Yes, obviously, take a trade from there. That makes obvious. That's how you make money. Avi stuff. What do we have? About
Perfect back test.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes to the next 30 minute.
Beautiful back test.
Yeah, this is interesting though. If it's, I don't know. Let's see if it breaks the new lows or makes a new low. If it doesn't, that'll be the other way. I'm waiting for this candle, but I don't see anything happening on this candle. Yeah, go ahead. Who was that?
Yeah, it was the VWAP as the rejection of the VWAP.
Okay. So what do you believe in more, Avi levels or VWAP? What makes sense to you?
Of course, you.
Thank you.
Of course you.
Good answer. Now we don't have to repeat
Good answer. I was already getting the ban button ready, so that was the right decision.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we have way too much fun here when we're done.
Ara says we need to have Avi WAP.
Let's do it. Creating indicators now. Creating indicators every day.
He missed
All
it
right, I
yesterday.
grabbed a short on
about.
gold, by the way. Just for those, I did go short on gold. So I'm gonna see where this one goes. I'm already got a nice. It's already dropping pretty well, so I like that a lot. So if it squeezes back up, I'll lighten it and get out. But for now, I mean, it did a perfect retest right back into my higher time frame. So this is the HF play, which is the R6 reversal from outside R4. So the first target will be R4, coming all the way back to 33.21. If that holds strong, I will likely start trailing and see if I can get the full move back to the CP or yesterday's close. It'd be a great move. So let's see what happens there.
Nice. Yeah, gold has been jumpy lately. Good fun. Sorry,
Gold's a great one when we go inverse. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, Shane. Oh yeah, that was right. Yesterday, Avi Cruz came up. What the hell are you guys talking about? Just the new Tom Cruise movie and all the Top Gun and motorcycles. Oh, come on. It was so funny in the webinar room yesterday. Shit.
Avi Cruz. That's amazing.
You guys watch too much movies, too many movies. But it's oddly appropriate.
Hey, it works, man. Where he's driving this highway through the danger zone.
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. I even got an F-14 right here. Look at that, right on the desk.
Yeah. Tomcat, baby.
Yeah, it's right here. You got to keep your inspiration right next to you. That way you stay focused. I put candlestick charts all around my office and my desk. I'll just be distracted. I'll be bored of trading. So I just got to basically a man cave with all the stuff that interests me: airplanes, motorcycles, whatever, music. That's the
Avi needs the F-14. Then he could come visit us in the States. I mean, he could just be doing like Mach 2 and get here in no time.
Let's do that.
You could probably pick up an old F-14 off of a third world country for pretty cheap these days, actually.
Iran has F-14As. They barely have 2 left out of cannibalizing another 50.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
And that's about a 30-minute boat ride that way to Iran. So just go.
They'd be like, I'll take one.
Yeah.
Big transfer.
Do like half a Bitcoin transfer, they'll be happy.
Oh yeah, that was the guy. I saw that guy that was buying like a car using like Sol. What is this? Solar? There's I forget the name of that coin. Solo something. Yeah. Gosh darn! But they actually went and did the exchange with it, and it was pretty funny. Thank you, Solano. Thank you, Nathan.
It's hilarious. People are buying real estate with crypto. Yeah, people are buying real estate. It's ridiculous. And millions of dollars worth just couple of Bitcoin, off you go. They bought it. Pretty cool. Anyways, what do we have now? The new 30-minute candle has closed. I don't see anything still on the SPY 30-minute chart. No setup, no trade. It's as simple as that. Might be another day with nothing. Yesterday was absolutely nothing. Eventually, I just went to bed. So let's see. Let's see what today holds.
Yeah.
Avi, since you're not in the trade, I'm starting reading the Zen Trader. Every sentence, every word is just talking to me. It's a really good book.
Awesome. Yes, that's one of those. You read it and it's worth rereading about 10 times across your trading career rather than reading 10 other books. It's that good. So yeah, good stuff, man. Take your time, absorb it. It has had a huge impact on my trading. Like, I can't even tell you. So,
Which one was that?
And every time you read it, you discover new things in it. Yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, brilliant.
Read it like more than 10 times.
Fantastic.
Print
Yeah,
it. I like it. It's just memorize it. It's just fantastic.
memorize it. Yeah, I've probably got it verbatim in my head at this point, but yeah. The Zen Trader by Peter Castle, guys. Fantastic book. Like, holy crap. It's up there with like The Art of War and stuff like that, you know? It's really good.
We had a hand up for a second by Payush, and then it disappeared. Did your question go away, Pi, or if not, please come on and ask.
That was answered. Thanks, Thor.
Okay, great. I just wanted to make sure because I saw you come on and then come off. I wanted to make sure you just didn't go, it's not important, because it is important, So I just, I was just waiting for a pause to bring you in. So cool, just checking.
No worries. Thanks, Thor. By the way, it's PK Trader.
PK, hey, what's up, dude?
How are you?
Good to see you, man.
Excellent. Same.
It's so fun. Zen Trader.
Oh, yes.
It's true, though.
It's odd. I do all that stuff, meditation for hours and hours, in this office, in this room, but you walk into this room, it's overstimulation. Again, guitars, airplanes, all kinds of, it doesn't look like a Zen room at all. Might as well have a disco ball in here too. But
nice.
It is my most Zen room, really. It's where I do all my Zen stuff. It's so strange. But you gotta customize your environment to suit you and bring the best out of you. That's what's most important. For me, this is just what it happens to be. Yeah, telescope too, Scott. Yeah, it's sitting there. Right now, you can't even see through the atmosphere. There's so much sand in the air in Dubai in the summer. Forget about it.
We got some of that coming over here right now.
No.
In Florida, we have Saharan and all kinds of like dust that's coming from y'all. So, we find it on Florida soil all the time. You can find Saharan sand and stuff like that coming across, because when that wind's coming, it actually carries it all the way across the ocean and drops it in Florida. Because St. Augustine, where I live, is on the jet stream right from Spain. So anything that kicks into the air there comes right to us. So it's like, we'll have a day where we have a lot of dust in the air. We're like, we don't have dust. Where's it coming from? And then the news report shows it. Sure enough, big cloud of dust coming across the ocean. So wild.
That's just me blowing a little dust at you.
That's just Avi getting into a position.
No. Oh gosh. There you go, guys. NVIDIA found some momentum break that low of day just a moment ago, but again, no setup. This thing's got teeth on both sides, and suddenly it goes out of nowhere. There's no way to predict this, at least not the way I see things. Unless you're reading the tape or doing something, detailed like that. Be careful with this. And there we go. The SPY down.
Yeah, that's not working well for my gold position. So I'm gonna cut it if it comes up too much higher than this. I mean, I'm still positive on it, but I don't want to get if it comes up too much, I'll cut it, and then if it re-offers, I'll get back in.
Avi, I took a short on NVIDIA from the Fibonacci level, and my thesis that I had was this: the double top. If you look at it at 934 and 943, and it comes to that level and then break and retest. So those double top and the retest was not a good thesis.
You're talking about the double top earlier.
Yes.
It's 943, and then a breakdown of the low that happened at about 950
Yes, but I took it at the next breakdown. The next breakdown.
at
Yep.
the level,
Sorry.
huh? 141, 43, around about that Avinacci level.
Yes.
Is where you got
Yes.
okay.
Yes.
And you're in it, and it worked. All right. The thing is,
I
before
like it.
it's the the thing is, before these last 4 candles that are pushing down, personally, I would be very careful just because it's got wicks on both sides. You know, it's moving down firmly. You can see that in these 10 candles before you entered. But just because of the quality of the candles, I would be very careful with it. But hey, it's working, so you know that's all right. I wouldn't do it. Thor, you like it? You would do this?
Well, I like the idea of a short here because it was in a selling range for me. So I do like the idea of being short and playing towards the, towards S3 from R3, which this, it had lots of topside wicks and then made that new low. It also lost a good trending average and stuff. So, I mean, it looks like a pretty good sell for me, just, and the market, when it rallied, I mean, it tried to rally on the, what is it, like around 930 or 940, it tried to rally and just got completely stuffed. So it just really couldn't do it. Lots of topside wicks. So we'll see where we're at now. We're getting right near our ATR low on NVIDIA here in a short bit. So we'll have to see what that does.
All right, nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, you get a downtrend. The high's getting lower. That's there. Against the downside wicks, that would have scared me out of this, but cool, man. Look at that. You're getting a hell of a move right through 140. I got 139.06 on my charts. So there you go. Yeah, Gurinder, go ahead.
Man, the Qs are selling.
Thor, sorry, another question about your future instant, whatever the funded accounts. What's the profit split?
On it's different on each of them, but the majority of them, it's basically like a 9-to-1. So like if I made like after comms and stuff like that, it's like if I made like $1,000, they get 100 of it or something like that. It's not quite 9-to-1, but it's like they get like depending on who take profit is only like, I think it's 4% or 5%. So it's much lower. Apex is around 10, and I think Top Step is 5. I'll have to double check on that actually. So that's kind of like they're after the comms go out from the trades, they get, they get a couple bucks and I get a couple bucks.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So who's catching these shorts? We had that NVIDIA short, SPY, Qs, everything went down. Basically Tesla as well. You guys getting some of this? No setup for me, nothing, even though the SPY is going down beautifully. Again, no setup on the 30, so I didn't touch it. I hope you guys are getting some. There's opportunity out there. Agnes, what are you saying? The choppiness is something else. Got stopped out 2 days in a row. Yesterday is a good thing. Well, stopping out is a good thing because what stops do is they ensure that you don't blow up an account. Aren't you glad you stopped out? I mean, look at this thing. It goes against you if you didn't stop out. Whoa, boy. A lot of times it stops out and goes in your favor, which you get an opportunity to re-enter. But you stop out and it keeps going against the direction you had in mind. Well, that's a good thing. I mean, you realize the result of it. And again, stopping out and re-entering is perfectly fine. But holding past your stop and then it works for you, now you've got a bad thing going on because that'll blow it up. Building bad habits, basically. So anyways, get used to stopping out. You're short-term trading, you're day trading. You're not, buying the dip or buying it cheaper and all that. No, that's a different world. I do that in the investing world, but not here. There's a big, big difference.
No, yeah, you got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable in this trading thing. You are going to take, most of us take more stops than we take wins. I probably run between a 40 and a 60% hit rate, depending on the month. So, but I still am quite profitable on my 40%. You know what I mean? Because I make at least 4-to-1 every time I win. So I could run a 20% hit rate and still be break even. Right. So, but once I get to 40%, it's trading nirvana. I mean, there's just no issues there as long as I don't do anything stupid. Bag hold something or something like that, I'm going to be fine. And on Apex, I just checked with Top Step. I messaged one of the people there to make sure. First 10 grand in profits, 100% goes to the trader. There is no split. Once you go over 10 grand, it goes to an 80-20 split with Top Step. For Apex, it's 25 grand in profits. Traders retain 100% of their profits. Beyond 25%, profits go a 90-10 split, which is one of the reasons I've always really liked at Apex. And if once you go beyond your sixth payout, it actually goes to a 100% profit as well. So that's Apex has been one of the reasons why I like Apex so much. However, Apex is a pain in the butt to get paid out through. So,
Alrighty.
take what you can.
Cool. Yeah, Julie, you got a question here? Let us know. You guys are joining the call now. Don't believe it. All right.
If anyone doesn't have a question, I have a question for both Avi and Thor. I want to get your opinion where keep trade longer than normal. Yesterday, I had a trade. I was in a trade for 3 hours and a half, and it was options. I was getting hammered, to be honest, mentally, because I said that it's working, it's not working, it's working, it's not working. I quit. I made a little. As soon as I quit, it moved a real one. So if I was just making another 1 hour, I could make a really good profit out of it. I'm just trying to understand the way that you trade, that you can stay in a trade for 4 or 5 hours, how you can do that just mentally.
Well, if you look at the charts I've got open here, look at the SPY, top and bottom. You got the top is the 1 minute and the bottom is the 30-minute. Quite simply, the best thing you can do, if you have to watch it, if you don't have the ability to walk away, then put your trade on and put on a bigger time frame, like a 30, and do this. Turn the thing into a huge screen so you basically don't get triggered by the 1 minute. And then all you're looking at is a 30-minute candlestick. And really, it takes 30 minutes for it to close, and you cannot make a decision in the middle of the candle. You just can't. So that's just one way. Basically, zoom out is what I'm saying. If you don't have the ability to put range orders and walk away. But again, the best thing to do is range orders and walk away.
I was putting it the 30 minutes, but I was the temptation. Okay, go back to 1 minute. What is going on in 1 minute? Maybe you have to trade manage it. Then 30 minutes, then 1 minute, then 130 minutes. It's just back and forth.
Man, you got to get a hobby. Put a trade on and go spend time with your girlfriend. Do something, man.
Set it and forget it.
Yeah, go get a hobby. Go do something that'll keep you genuinely engaged.
Yeah,
and you don't have your phone with you, like you're in the hot tub. You don't take your phone with you in there.
Get a hot tub, I think, is what Avi's saying. Actually, we should get a hot tub.
There you go.
Beside my office desk, I need a hot tub. Okay, that's a good idea. Let me think about it.
I think that's what Avi needs in his office, actually.
Yeah, I got to move it in from the backyard.
What do you do, Thor? So, what is your suggestion? Thank you, Avi. Thank you for the suggestion.
Yeah.
So for me, so there are some considerations to have depending on what type of instrument you're trading. Obviously, like if you're trading an option, you may not want to do that because there is a certain level at which, depending on what you're choosing, they could decay, right? And then no matter how far it goes at this point, you're not really going to make much money on it because you've just been squatting in it for too long. So you got to make sure you're picking the right part of the instrument, obviously. But other than that, what I've found in trading is the more I feel and the more I think, the worse my trading is, right? All of your decisions about what you should be doing with your trading day and your trading management should have all been made already, right? You have a plan, you know how you take your trade, you know how you hold your trade, you know how you exit your trade. All those things are all things that should be predetermined ahead of every trade that you ever take. Once you're in it, you should just execute and not care about the outcome whatsoever, right? Because what'll happen is once the day is closed, you can go back in and you can analyze it. And since your performance was perfect, right, you won't have to take time beating yourself up, saying, oh, I wish I'd have done this, none of that stuff, right? You can just get into the empirical, right? Look at the data and say, okay, what went wrong? Oh, I see. If I had waited for a new 5-minute high, this trade would have worked. All right, so that's a new rule. Okay, now I want to wait for a new 5-minute high. Now you've made an adjustment. The next day, you do that. Now, do you switch to a 1 minute now that you're waiting for a 5-minute? No, you made a rule adjustment. If that 5-minute doesn't work, look at it. Maybe you should have used a 3-minute, right? So, but you can dial in, your system so much faster if you're, an analogy I use with one of my mentees. Think of yourself like an American football analogy. Avi and I are your coaches. We've created systems in which you are trying to utilize. So basically think of yourself as like a wide receiver, right? A wide receiver has a route that they're supposed to run every single time the play is called, right? Height, 4 steps out, slant, 3 steps in. If he doesn't do it exactly the right way every time, ball doesn't get to him, probably gets thrown as an interception to somebody else, right? That's the reason we have this happen. Why did the quarterback throw it into a hole and there was a guy standing there? Because the wide receiver ran the wrong route, right? He didn't even look to see if the wide receiver was there. He just threw the ball because that's where he's supposed to be, right? So, but any behavioral slippage like that, right, is where you fail, right? So what you want to do is run the route. If it's not working, then let your offensive coordinator, right, let your coach, your receiving coach come in and say, yeah, your route was wrong. This is what happened. You can be your own coach then. You can sit down afterwards and say, okay, I was supposed to do this. Did I do it? No. All right. Why would you expect a result if you didn't do what you expected to do? And God forbid you got a result. Now what are you going to do? Right? Now you're going to just blow your whole system up every single day for some randomness, right? No, you can't do that. You'll just flat spin. You know what I mean? So we got to get out of that. So make decisions on what you want to do with your day, adhere to it relentlessly, and then make adjustments after the fact.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It was very helpful.
My pleasure.
Yeah, brilliant. Guys, what else we got here? Looking at the chat. Julie, you've had your hand up for a while, no question? All right, it's probably in the chat, I'm guessing. What do we got? Agnes, score. Oh, gosh. Totally haven't looked at this for like 30 minutes. Sorry, guys. Trying to zoom in. Plan was to short NVIDIA after breaking 139.50. Okay. And then on a retest, would it be safer to wait for the pullback 140-ish? All right, let's have a look. NVIDIA, 139.50. Where is that? Where the hell is that? That's down there. It's the bottom. You want to short it from there? Is that what you say? If you want to short it, I mean, wait. My trade book, wait for the next level, wait for 30 minutes setup. But for now, it's pulling up. Right?
I don't know.
Hit a
Sorting
level.
NVIDIA here seems a little sketchy to me. I mean,
Yeah.
not that it wouldn't be a short, but there's so much support in this area on the chart.
Yeah.
But
just really watch it. It's
yeah.
not. It's a tough one. It's hard to short this thing all day, even though it made a good, clean move to the downside. A couple of you thought that, but I was not. As far as patterns go, it didn't look all right to my eyes. So I'd be careful with that. Sandra, what are you saying? Question about trading view layout. No, we didn't go through that. Did we?
No. So the question was, can the trading view layout be copied into DOS or something like that? DOS has its own CAM calculations, and they are unfortunately not able to be modified to match mine. But DOS's CAMs work very, very well, but there is some issues with them for futures. So and copyable in trading view, yeah, they're yours. They're already there. So if you want my if you want to add my cams, all you got to do is go to your indicators and just type in Camaria pivot plays. Look for the ones that were coded by Bruz X. Those are mine. Bruz is my developer that I've been using to put all of this stuff together. So those are all listed through him. So Camaria play is my adaptive ATR limits and my really key levels, which is like pre-market high, pre-market low, yesterday's high, yesterday close, anything like that you want to mark in there. It'll auto project those. No Avi8ors because TV doesn't give me that cool candle. But I could copy that candle and then just put it in and then hit levels off of it pretty easily. So you could just do a fib line off of them and it wouldn't be too hard. But anyway, yeah, they're all in there for you. So if you want them, just go in there and just type them in. They should be easy to find.
You gotta pay me royalties. You want Avi8ors levels on TradingView.
I know we need some clearing candles. Let's go.
Ali, you're talking about Apple for a short 200.9 from there, huh? Well, it bounced off of that zone just a little bit ago. It's holding below the level, but I mean, realistically, from 9:50 to now, about 30 minutes, it's really gone nowhere. This is chop. It's not going anywhere. If you want to short, wait for a setup. If you're looking at, if you have moving averages, the EMAs, you'll probably see them being pretty horizontal at the moment, which is telling you it's not going anywhere. EMAs are basically momentum indicators, and if you look at Apple early on, it was probably going down. Just look at your moving averages. That should be a simple indicator to tell you if it's going or not going at the moment or in the last few candles. But just look at the candlesticks. Look at that. They haven't moved. This is a bit of a day trader's graveyard at the moment. So be careful with it.
My old buddy Ed Martin called this the kill zone. So just be careful. It's a really easy way just to get chopped up.
Ed Martin, he's great.
Average
I'm
Joe.
I'm using your TOS setup. I just wanted to really thank you for sharing that. This is just incredible. So it's just putting it for free publicly. People use it, all those camera setup in the TOS. This is just something that I'm using it. I'm used to it. Okay, is it a wide day? Is it a narrow day? Is it higher? Is it lower? It's just a lot of my brain and mental capacity was just always setting it for that. But you're putting it there and all those efforts, and then you put it for free for public access. This is just incredible. Thank you.
Oh, my privilege. You know what I mean? It's the idea to, I've already got my system out in a book, and I've already, I do webinars with BBT. I trade well. I'm making plenty of money doing this. So the last thing I wanted to do was start a software company. You know what I mean? And I really want people to be able to use my system and use it effectively. And it puts so much brain power into picking the direction, right? It's very, very hard actually figuring out which direction we're going to go. Are we going up? Are we going down? Risk management, really easy when you pick the right direction, right? So what I was hoping to do is I can take away the two bookends, right? I can take away the where and I can take away the how, right? I can show you exactly how I would do it and I can show you where I do it from. And then you can focus your brain on just saying, okay, is it the right time? And it certainly alleviates, so much consideration. This is one of the things I think Avi gets as a big benefit about just playing SPY most of the time, right? He knows exactly how he wants to play it, exactly where he wants to play it from. He doesn't need to hop around to 30 different tickers. He just knows where his ideal setups are going to come from. And so he can hit it. And so it takes so much mental effort out of him. Like, Avi, what are you doing right now? Are you looking at a chart? Are you doing anything? He's like, no, I'm playing with my F-14 Tomcat right now and crashing it into my dream car. You know what I mean? So
there you go. There you go.
I'm strafing my dream car with my F-14 right now. So.
Like a little boy here with all my toys, I got more toys than my son. Little cars, little airplanes. Mental capital, guys. Mental capital, most important thing.
Mental and emotional, man. You don't want any of that. If you can free your mind like that, but it frees your emotions, and emotions, if they drive your this is Dr. V stuff. We know from listening to her talks about the blood flow in the brain when you're under stress. When you get under pressure, you literally lose consciousness. You know what I mean? That blood flow goes back. This is why the Zen trader concept is so important. It's actually about keeping you conscious while you're playing. Right, while you're in the market and you're doing this as you stress, it's to keep your heart rate down, to keep your blood flow in the frontal cortex, right? When you get stressed and all those hormones and adrenaline go in, you lose blood. Literally your brain, Dr. V showed scans in one of her sessions because they scanned people as they got under stress. You can actually see the blood flow come out of that part of your brain and get shoved down onto your amygdala. And that's your flight or flight response, right? So you're literally trying to trade, right? And why do you feel that way? Because you get so freaked out and stuff like that because you literally can't think. So this is why you got to know exactly what you're going to do ahead of time. That way, when you lose consciousness, you don't have to think or feel. You can just react, right? And that's really what we're looking for, just performance.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Even from the investing group that I'm a part of, we talk about this quite a lot. There's a perfect inverse correlation between intelligence and emotions. Once emotions get heightened, your intelligence kind of goes out the window and you can't make clean decisions. Same idea.
That's facts.
Yeah, same thing. So emotional intelligence, awareness, meditation helps, all that stuff,
Just consciousness, staying aware, being in tune with your own self too, right? Like Peter Castle, is that the author on the Zen Trader one? Yeah,
yep, that's
Peter Castle. So yeah, it's just about being really, I don't know any day traders that I've worked with that have lost from day trading because they could not learn how to read a stock chart. Every day trader that I've ever known that's burned out is burned out for one of two reasons. They do something really stupid and blow up their account, or they just get bored by just stagnating for an indefinite period of time. Right now, unfortunately, the vast majority of us stagnate for quite a while before we finally get into our groove. And that's really the hard part to get by. It's not the losing that's hard, it's the lack of winning section you go through, because once you kind of stop the bleeding, you don't just get to immediately go into profit. You kind of get stuck for a while because you're not doing horribly anymore, but you really haven't quite mastered it all. And then, slowly, then suddenly, all of a sudden, it's just like one day you wake up and all of a sudden you're just making money. You just kind of like, you just hit a groove, you find your thing, you get a little confidence, and all of a sudden, day after day after day, you have losses, sure, but your P&L just kind of continues moving in one direction. And most of y'all, if you hang in here and keep your emotions in check and just suffer through the process, and I'm going to use the word suffer very specifically for a reason, but that is the test of being a trader, is suffering through the the initiation, if you will, into this whole thing. And we all had to do it. I mean, I don't know anyone who hasn't blown up an account or done something really stupid in the beginning of their trading career. So I mean, I know I did. So what are you gonna do?
Fair enough.
Good looking double bottom, Avi. He shouldn't have.
Hard enough to ask in here. So yeah, Nvidia's double bottom is decent. I like it. It's not at the level, but if it was closer to the level, the candlestick pattern looks good. It hit a bottom, it pushed up aggressively, made a higher bottom, and there's a nice little arch between the two bottoms. That's a good one. But also, if you look at the Qs, that's almost an ideal setup for naked trading stuff that I do. A big downtrend, hit a level, consolidation, then it started putting in these long tail hammers with room to the left, and this is going as a reversal. This is not a double bottom. I wouldn't look at it as a double bottom, but you're looking at it as a long tail hammer reversal, that kangaroo tail reversal that we do. So you're getting on a 1 minute chart. Again, I don't trust 1 minute charts, but this is what the patterns look like. If I see this on a 30-minute chart, I'm gonna full buying power, just go long, basically. But I mean, watch the risk, of course. But that's the setup I'd look for a big reversal. I mean, a big one. So there you go. That one's all right.
On the book map, there is not much of big orders on the lower end, so it's more bullish. So that's how I see it. So the feed is working for the double bottom.
There you go. Everything comes together, right? Pretty good. Oh shit! I realize I can't keep the camera here. You know what? That's it. I'm gonna get a new desk. I'm gonna do something. This desk is so unstable. Look at this. Like I'm typing and this thing is all over the place. It's like a $10 IKEA thing that I'm still sitting on. I really got to get something more stable. Anyway,
I got my cam when I'm at home is on it's on an arm with a little gimbal on it, so you can move it around like that.
Yeah, I got that for the mic. I should get that.
Yeah,
too.
For the cam.
That'll do. Yeah.
Hey, Thor, we just had a nice book shift on MES.
Nice. MES, that's the SPY futures, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Yeah, the micros.
Nice.
And but these are minis. These are the minis, right?
Minis. And if it's just ES, those are the big ones. Right?
Yeah, ES would be full size. So they're all called the E-minis, right? So but there's nothing small about a mini, right? They're just called minis, but there's nothing mini about them. But then we have micros, and actually word on the street is we might actually be getting nanos at some point in the next couple of years. So they would be like, so right now E-minis are like let's say 1, and then MES, the micros are 10 to 1, right? So you could take 10 micros for every 1 mini, right? And then we're going to do nanos, which are going to be 100 to 1s off the mini, basically, in theory. So you'll be able to micro size a little bit more, which would be a lot of fun.
That's interesting. And the large ones, what every tick is what, $50? Is that right?
Yep, $50 a tick per contract.
Wow.
So and it's actually
even bigger than that.
They do have them, but they're not available for retail. You can only buy them if they're
ridiculously
institutional.
Expensive. I mean,
they're like 100 G's each or something to carry, and those are the full size. Those are the big leaders. But we can't even. You pull up like full ES. I mean, it's just like crazy. It's like ES1 exclamation point or something like that. I forget. I don't even know the code for it because I don't even have a bank account I could put those things on. I'd be like, one trade, boom, and you're blown up. Bye.
Yeah. Well, one takes like $1,000 or something on that.
So KD does make a really good point on that, though. The benefit to using full size over micros is the comps are exactly the same between both contract sizes. So if you can buy full size, you're going to get a better deal because that move's going to run, but you're just going to have the round trip cost and then the comm on one contract, right? Versus the round trip cost and then the comms on 10 contracts, right? So there is a little dilution there, and $20 a trade, $25 a trade, it adds up pretty fast. You know what I mean? So you definitely, I think my comms for the IBKR, if I took 10 full size though, on like one trade, it'd be like maybe $10 or $11. It's really not too bad. So,
well, that's a good benefit. I average about $5,000 a day in commissions. So that's
like if you rolled like 4 or 5 full size, you could knock out.
Yeah, it would be a lot cheaper in that sense.
Sorry, Nathan, I didn't mean to talk over you there, buddy.
Oh no, you're good. I was just wanting to point out, looks like we're getting another book shipped again just right now.
Yeah. So what Nathan's saying, if you're looking at my screen, so look at so we're looking for what we call market structure shifts or book shifts. So you can see here as we were selling, look how they brought in orders to the downside. But then notice as we bottom, they started lightening the downside and they're actually bringing orders into the top side now. And we've started actually moving up on our green dots. So we're actually buying now. So this does look like a double bottom right now. At least generically, it looks like they don't want to go back down below 59, but there's a lot of chop here and they keep shifting around quite a bit. So, but I mean, we've been here for a while and we've already sold off quite a bit. So it's certainly a good spot to keep our eye on things.
All right, guys, it's a little past 10:30. I got to get into another section at 11. So this was fun. Thanks, Thor. Thanks, everyone, hanging out.
Pleasure.
Hopefully got some good trades in and stick to your setups, guys. Enjoy it today. We will catch you tomorrow.
See you then.
All righty. See you guys.
Tomorrow.
Talk to you all soon.